The story so far. Krishna visits the Pandavas and expresses grief for not being able to help them in their time of need. Before leaving, he blesses the Pandavas and promises them his allegiance in war against the Kauravas. Living like ascetics was not easy. The Pandavas, who had lived all their lives with ample means, were now forced to live off meager resources. Often, there were differences in opinions which led to quarrels among the brothers. Over the years they spent in the forest, they received knowledge from many sages who would come and stop by their hut. The Pandavas would welcome all saints and sages and treat them in the most hospitable manner. One day, the great sage VID-20161103-WA0007.mp4 visited the Pandavas. He spoke to them about the virtues that warriors should possess. He also told Arjun that in order to fight the war against the Kauravas, he will have to acquire the celestial weapons of Indra and Shiva. Having said these words, the sage took leave of the Pandavas. Upon his departure, Yudhishthir asked Arjun to leave for the Himalayas to perform austerities in order to please Shiva. On his way to the Himalayas, Arjun crossed dense forests and hilly mountains. He crossed beautiful valleys and reached the top of Mount Himavat, where he began his penance to obtain the grace of Shiva. For many months, Arjun ate only leaves and prayed wholeheartedly to Shiva while standing on his toes. Seeing Arjun perform such austerities, Shiva disguised himself as a hunter and along with his spouse reached the spot of Arjun's residence. As Shiva approached Arjun, a wild boar appeared and launched an attack on Arjun. Arjun, sensing the attack, immediately lifted his bow and let go a flurry of arrows to bring him down. Shiva, who saw the boar running towards Arjun, shot arrows at the same time. Seeing an intruder attack his target, Arjun was furious and demanded to know who the stranger was. They began to argue about who had killed the boar. Soon, the verbal argument escalated into a physical fight. Arjun released arrows to attack the hunter, and the hunter too shot arrows at Arjun. When Arjun had exhausted all his arrows, he attacked the hunter with his bow. Shiva, in the form of the hunter, snatched Arjun's bow and pushed him to the ground. In defense, Arjun lifted stones and trees and attacked the hunter. He took out his sword and brought it down upon the dazzling crown the hunter was wearing. On touching the crown, it fell to the ground and shattered. Seeing this, the hunter delivered a mighty blow to Arjun's face, leaving him senseless on the ground. When he regained consciousness, Arjun started chanting the name of Shiva. In his prayers, he offered Shiva a garland and asked for strength. Upon opening his eyes, he saw the same garland around the crown that he had shattered. Arjun realized that the hunter was none other than Shiva himself. He fell at the feet of Shiva and asked him for forgiveness. Shiva not only gave him back his Gandiv bow, but also gifted the marvelous Pashupat weapon to Arjun. Arjun was overwhelmed at being graced by Shiva. Before leaving, Shiva blessed him and asked him to give his respects to his father, Indra.